So, week one, you're always hoping you go out there and play a clean football game. You want the work that you've been doing to show a little bit. You don't have it right there. Are you good?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right. You want the work that you've done to show, and I think the first game kind of sets the floor for what your team can be. Certainly, there's a lot of things that we got to clean up there. I thought we tackled better as the game went on, which was good. Problem is in the scrimmages kind of had the same thing. Started a little bit slow. Offensively in the second half, the turnover really just drives you crazy. We forced one in there, and something that we've invested a lot of time in a lot of these concepts. So those are things that you just can't do. You drop a punt, put the ball in jeopardy there. So there's a lot of things that we got to clean up. All in all, penalty-wise, I thought it was pretty good. Unfortunately, I think we got a couple guys that are a little bit banged up here, so we're gonna have to kind of see what that looks like in the end too. But I think we're starting in a good spot. We're starting in a better spot than we have the last couple years. But the test of what this team is going to be is how much work are we willing to do week to week to get to the game. How focused can we stay on every opponent and on bettering ourselves, because we do have a lot to improve on, and we're going to work our tails off to get it fixed.
You talk about that first play offensively to kind of establish the offense and everything like that. Going for that deep pass, that was kind of the thought there.
Yeah, I think at times I've been, with the quarterbacks, I try to get them in a rhythm and do some things, and we try to dink and dunk it a little bit, but it was kind of a little bit of a statement, I think, for our team. Like, this is how we're going to play this year. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to, we're not playing not to lose. We're playing to win games, and it was just kind of, I think this team has worked at a different level. I think this team is ready to go and do some things we haven't done in a while. And to me, offensively, that was just kind of me saying I see it, and let's roll it out there and see what happens.
The running game, I don't know that I have a real good idea about it. After tonight's game, it had some moments, but kind of.
Right. First half was certainly not very good. We were playing with high pad level. We weren't sustaining blocks. I didn't think at running back we were doing a good job of pressing and getting off and running through arm tackles. So we kind of challenged our guys at halftime, like, we need to run the football better. That's something that we're going to have to do. Now, part of it is them. I think they have a pretty good front. I think they were big. They played really hard, and they loaded the box. So a lot of the throws we had were runs. They were RPO throws because we had to. But when we did have run looks, I think we ran for 3 yards a carry the first half. That's not close to good enough. Our goal as a team is 5. If you run for 5 a pop, then you're running it pretty good. And I give them some credit. They were going to load the box early, try to make us throw it a little bit. And I thought Ben did a good job, getting the ball, distributing the ball around. And, we had at least one drop that was unforced that needs to not happen. But, we threw it and caught it pretty well for the most part. So, we got to run it a little bit better. Second half was better. Thought the backs pressed it harder. I thought we played better pad level, strained a little bit harder, finished some blocks. That's who we want to be, And if teams are going to try to take it away and put extra hats in there and load it up, we will throw the ball. We got guys that can throw it and catch it, so we will. But certainly was more pleased with the way we did it in the second half.
Speaking of, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Your defense did a really nice job of putting pressure on their quarterback. Caleb Cavodi had the pick 6. Was that kind of a game plan for you guys to put pressure on their offense tonight?
Well, we've talked a lot about our defense, and we want to attack, the offenses. I think what we talked about really wanting to be this year on defense, we wanted to attack we want to attack the offense. We wanted to create negative plays and get them in situations where we knew they were going to throw the ball, and we got to cut those guys loose. And I thought their offensive line really did a pretty good job in protection. They gave up some pressures, but they really did a pretty good job. But we feel like we've got really good pass rushers, and I thought Jim and the defensive staff did a great job. We were aggressive. We dialed it up, but on the back end, I thought we did a good job playing coverage on the back end. And you kind of force the issue a little bit. So if we can get people into passing situations, I feel like we've got good pass rushers and we can get pressure there. But, we kind of talked about it last year. We just weren't good enough on first and second down. We were getting 3rd and 2s, not 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. There's a big difference there. So I thought that was what we did a good job of tonight.
Could you talk a little bit about the performance of Harvey Broussard and just his development to not necessarily being like a main target or receiver, but just his development in the college game?
Who's that? Harvey is like, you know, when you talk about these guys that are like all in, you talk about these guys that love football and love what they do and love being a part of this thing. He is that guy. You know, it's kind of funny. Last year he got forced into the action a little bit, probably before he was ready. Truthfully, you know, he and I have talked about it. You know, he says, you know, last year I didn't know, I was just running around out there trying to make plays, and he's really becoming a detailed receiver. You know, he's got a ton of tools. I mean, he's got speed, he's got wiggle, length, he's got great hands. He's got a ton of tools. Now he knows when to use them. And I think Coach Leger and Coach Washington have done a great job with Harvey. They coach him hard. You know, he'll be the first to tell you we're on his tail whenever we need to be. But, you know, I've just been really pleased with him. I mean, as far as a human being goes, too, like, there's some people that you just pull really hard for, and he's one of them. I mean, he's a great kid. He comes in here to work every day, never complains. You know, he had a good night tonight. If he had no catches, he'd be the same guy tomorrow, and that's what I respect about him a lot. And he is going to be a target for us, you know, and he is. And, you know, the first play of the game we talked about, you know, it was an opportunity to try to let him run by somebody. And, you know, we felt like maybe their safeties would flatten off when we kind of motioned over, and they did, and he does a great job. He gets on the toes, wins. You know, wish he was a little faster, you know, scored a touchdown would have been better, but, you know, we'll take it. So, no, it was a really good play. Really proud of his progress, and he has a chance to be really special by the end of this year. He'll keep working the way he is.
Got time for a couple more.
Coach, you told us about the depth at tight end, and Ty made some catches, Caden made some catches. We saw that tonight.
He's a tight end guy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a young group, but it's a talented group, and you know, I was pleased with the way they played. There were some unique looks out there, you know, some stuff that we kind of didn't know was going to happen, you know, which is always part of the first game. They handled it well. They made some mistakes, you know. I mean, those guys don't have a ton of banked reps, but one thing I know about them is it matters to them. They work really hard, and they're talented. I mean, you know. Ty made a few catches. I mean, Caden's, you know, 6'6", 255 pounds, and I mean, he's got some ability in the run and the throw game. So I was pleased that they played well. We need them to play well, and we need them to grow up fast because, you know, it's an important piece of who we are.
And how impressed were you with Ben Woolridge? I mean, taking his shots when he needed to, dinking and finding the open spots when he needed to, sliding when he didn't find nobody open and running. How impressed were you with Ben tonight?
You know, he just shouldn't surprise me anymore, but he does. You know, I mean, when you work as hard as he did to get back and to get back for his team, you know, I just was hoping that he'd go out there and go play well, and I thought he played great for us. You know, I thought he made some plays. I thought he ran the offense really well, you know, with the exception of a couple things in there that there always are. I thought he made really good decisions for us. Got the ball to our playmakers, you know, used his legs when he needed to, which is a part of his game. He needs to do that. That's part of what makes him play really well. But, you know, I thought for the first game back, you know, compared to last year, his first game back, I felt like he pressed too much. Like, I felt like he was trying to make a little too much happen. I thought today he ran the offense really well, and I thought we played really well around him. You know, last year, the first game, there was a lot of things that I was not very happy about offensively. I thought we played a lot better around him, too. So, you know, he'll be the first to tell you that, but I don't know, man. You know, we've got kids that, you know, you just really pull for, and you know, a guy like him to be going through everything he's been through, it's just a pretty cool story, and I think it's just the beginning of him for this year.